Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank be chopping, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright, so what we finna be doing is we're gonna be doing a mid fade, line up the beard, shape it up. We leaving the length on top. We basically just giving a mid fade, lining them up, hitting them with some enhancements. You know, give them the whole 9 on this cut. Make sure he walks out the shop looking good. Let's go. Alright, so as y'all can see, I just combed all his hair out. Basically just combed it down, make sure it laid the way it grows. That way I can actually see what's going on when I cut it. So I'm starting off with my number 4 guard. I'm actually using my Barber FXs right now. I hadn't used them in a while for a video, so I said, you know what, let me pull these bad boys out. Let me get some work out of them. So I got my number 4 guard on there right now, and as you can see, I'm floating that clipper up and out as I get closer to that parietal ridge area. And we are doing a mid fade, and y'all know how I do, guys. I like to drop my fade slightly in the back, nothing too crazy, but I'm doing the same thing with that 4. You know, I'm coming right up to that ridge on the sides, and then once I get to the back, I drop it down a little bit. You know, I don't want to kill that crown area too much. I still want a little bit of hair right there, so I am dropping it down in the back. And as y'all can see, I am just flicking and floating away, and basically I'm doing that just so it can tie into the top, and I know the biggest guard that I have to fade into is a number 4. Alright, so now I'm taking my trimmers, I'm setting in my initial bald guideline, and like I said, we are doing a mid fade, so I'm keeping this, you know, my definition of a mid fade is basically where I'm doing it at. I am going to drop it in the back slightly, like I said earlier, and as y'all can see in the front, I left the C cup a little dark. You know, we are doing that ghost line that I tend to do on most of my haircuts, and we're just basically doing this all the way around. Coming in on the opposite side, doing the same thing, balding them out, leaving a little bit of hair in that C cup area. That way, you know, we can you know, just make that C cup look nice and sharp. And then I'm basically gonna match these lines in the back. And I've said it once and I'll say it again, guys. You want your lines to be, you know, pretty straight, but they don't have to be 100% perfect. Like, I think a lot of people take too much time trying to make them too straight. Like, if you fade it out, you're really not going to see the line. Yes, you want it to be pretty straight, but I just feel it doesn't have to be 100% straight. That's just me, though. All right, now going in with my shaver from Gamma. And all I'm doing is taking them sides down all the way to skin. And as y'all can see, the closer I get to that initial guideline that I created, I'm flicking out and I'm relieving some of the pressure on that shaver on the scalp. That way I don't create a harsh line to take out when it comes to actually fading this haircut. I want to give a shout out to my boy Tito Beats. That's what y'all hearing right now, so y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. He be dropping fire on his channel all the time, and he's the one that supplies me with all my beats for these videos. Alright, so now I'm going back in with my Barber FXs. I got my clipper all the way open, which makes this a half, and I'm coming up about 3/4 of an inch, and I'm basically following the same exact shape that I created with that bald guideline. You know, I'm gonna follow that same exact shape all the way around. Well, technically not all the way around. I'm just gonna do half of the head right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And once I set in that guideline, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to fade it down. So, you know, as y'all can see, I'm coming in with my lever all the way open, and then now I'm coming in with my lever halfway open, and I'm coming up about halfway into that section, or right below what I did with the lever all the way open, and I'm using a slight flick out motion. And then once I do that, what I'm gonna do is you can do 2 things here. You can either close your lever all the way and attack that bottom line, or you can do what I just did, and I just closed my lever 1 notch, came right below what I did with my lever halfway open, and then I'm gonna close my lever all the way and attack that bottom line. And I just do that because I just feel it gives it a better look. That's just my personal opinion. You don't have to do that. I know some barbers that don't do it and they still give good haircuts. Alright, so now I'm going in with my number 1 guard. My lever is all the way open, and that's making this a 1.5. And I'm coming up another section, so I'm still coming up about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch using a slight flick out motion. And then what I'm gonna do after I create this next panel, I'm gonna do the same thing I did previously. Basically, I'm gonna fade it out, but I'm not gonna close my lever halfway. You can, but just the way I fade, closing it all the way and attacking that bottom line gets that, you know, gets this part of the fade looking pretty good. Now you can, like I said, come in with the lever open halfway, but for me it's not needed.
Damn it, Tito. Another one?
Now I got my 1.5 guard on my clipper. Lever is all the way open. And we are coming up another section, and now that we're getting closer to that ridge area, and basically we're trying to flick out a little more because we don't want to cut all the way up until what we did with that number 4, because then it's gonna make it harder to fade in, right? So I am flicking out a little more, and it's doing what I want it to do. As y'all can see, it's still looking pretty faded, even though I have a new line on top, and that's perfectly fine. So I went in, lever open, and now I'm going in with my lever closed, coming right below what I just did. Here is my number 3 guard. Lever is open. And basically what I'm doing is, guys, is I'm coming up right below what I did with that number 4 guard. I know you're probably thinking, like, how does this dude remember? But you just gotta know, you know what I'm saying? I mean, once you're actually looking at the haircut, you can kind of see it. And now I just close my lever, which makes this a number 3, and I'm just coming up right below that. So basically I'm doing some fade down technique. So I'm doing the 3 right now, and then after this, I'm gonna go with the number 2. Lever is all the way open, and I'm coming up right below what I did with that number 3, and then I'm going to close my lever and come up right below that. And in theory, I'm technically done with most of my steps, and it should be pretty faded in. However, I am going back and I'm detailing it. So this is my 1.5 guard, and I'm just using some slight lever play. I'm going to be adjusting that lever and switching guards to give this, to detail this haircut and make it look better than what it already does. As y'all may know, if y'all follow me and y'all already watched some of my videos, I didn't hit it with the 1/16 guard. That's actually what I'm doing right now. I just put my 1/16 guard on my clipper, and I start off with either my lever all the way open or halfway open. It just depends on what exactly you want to do. And I just adjust that lever little by little to try to get rid of these dark spots. And the reason why I don't use my 1/16 guard in my initial steps is sometimes you can actually fade from the clipper open to the number 1 guard pretty good. So I just take that step out because sometimes I don't necessarily need it. So that's why I don't do it. It's not in my initial steps. All right, now we're actually moving on to the edge up. As y'all can see, I just comb that hair down a little bit, and all I'm doing is I'm starting off in the middle of his forehead, middle of his lineup, creating an initial line, and then I'm just following that line all the way over.
Damn it, Tito.
Now I'm hitting the back of the beard, because like I said earlier, guys, we are going to line up that beard and shape it up a little bit. So I'm just hitting up the back of the beard, touching up the top. And I just tend to do this now because I like to do one side at a time. So I just want to have an actual finished look on this side of his head. And then I didn't record the whole cut either, so yeah. But y'all see your boy hitting up that C-cup, making it look nice and sharp. That's what we do. Let go. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this cut so far, guys. I think it's looking blurry, and that's just me being biased, but y'all know what it is, man. I'm gonna always think my haircuts look pretty good. Alright, as y'all can see, I'm fading in that beard, and all I did was I started with my lever open, and I made a section, and then I basically faded up. Instead of faded down, I faded up. And now I'm just shaping the beard. I should have finished fading it in, but for whatever reason, because I didn't have a guard on my clipper, so I decided to shape it up. And all I'm doing is cleaning up the wild hairs. I'm really not taking off too much length. I'm just cleaning up the wild hairs and giving it a nice shape. And you're basically just gonna freehand this the same way you would freehand an afro. Alright, so going back to fading in this beard, I'm using my 1.5 guard. My lever is closed, and I'm just attacking, them dark areas. Now I got my 1 guard, and I'm just using some lever play to get this beard nice and faded in. And now I'm going back in and detailing this haircut a little more, because y'all know how I do, guys. Once I actually put that line up in there, I can see the fade a little better, and I can see what needs to be worked on and what I need to touch up on. And I feel like that's a good technique to do. Do your steps, get it to look, as good as you can, line them up, and then go back and detail it. And I think, honestly, if you do that, that's gonna help take your haircuts to the next level. And another gem a lot of people don't know about, I do it a lot, is get your phone out and look at the haircut on your phone. Like act like you're gonna take a picture basically, or a video, and you can actually see the haircut on your phone, and you can actually see it. Basically, it's in a different light, so it may look a little different, and you may see some discrepancies that you may need to basically just tend to. And that's the good thing about recording my cuts too, man. Like, I can see them in the mirror, and then I can actually see them in the screen on the camera, and I think that helps me, it helps me a little bit come out with a better product. However, sometimes I be trying to detail too much, and it becomes not necessarily an issue, but y'all know I'm trying to stay on a schedule, so yeah. Now what I'm doing is just taking away that bottom line. Basically that shaver line, it must have left like a faint line, and I'm just attacking that, and now I'm going back in with my clipper. I believe there's no guard on there, and if there is a guard, it's the 1/16th. I can't really tell. All right, but now we're gonna hit this man with a hot towel, take off all this shaving cream, and then we're gonna line him up with that razor. Basically just get these lines nice and sharp, and then we're gonna hit him with some enhancements. And when I do beards, I like to lean my client back, as y'all can see, just so I can get underneath their neck. And I just feel sometimes it's a strain on the client's neck when you have them put their head back when you're trying to get their beard without a headrest. So when I lean my clients back to do their beard, I like to put them in a headrest. That's just me though. And when you're doing this part of actually the actual haircut, you want to make sure you stretch that skin tight, guys. It's actually gonna lessen the chance of you nicking your client. And y'all know you don't want to nick your client. I know I do it sometimes. Every now and then. It's rare, but it still happens every now and then. Players mess up. But yeah, if you stretch your skin, you lessen the chance of nicking your client. I don't know, man. I think that beard looking pretty icy, and y'all know them enhancements is gonna take it to the next level. Y'all know how I do it, man. Let's go. Now we just hitting up the lineup on top. Just making sure that line is nice and crisp. Get all them, them extra little straight hairs or whatever. And then we're gonna move to them enhancements. I'm using that Slay sauce from SlayApparelLine.com. Remember, guys, if y'all decide to go buy this, you can use my checkout code TANK10. But we're just adding a little bit of enhancements, man. As y'all can see, I'm just giving like a few little sprays, and I'm moving that card, and I'm checking how it looks, because I don't like to put a lot of enhancements on my clients. Like, I know some people put a lot, and I'm not with all that, man. Like, I like my haircuts to look good. I think that the enhancements take the haircuts to the next level, but I also don't want my clients to basically look like they got a fake haircut. So I try to keep it as natural as possible. But the good thing about this enhancement is, the longer they leave the enhancement on, basically before they go wash it, it'll last a little longer. So if he went the whole day without washing it and then went home and washed it, it'll last him a little longer than if he went home and washed his hair right after this haircut. Alright, guys, well, check it out. This time my boy came into the shop looking. It been a minute. He said, "Tank, hook me up, bro. It's been a while." I said, "I got you, fam. Say less." And this time my man walked out the shop looking. I think that beard is on point. I think that fade is on point. I think them lines is nice and sharp. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comments, guys. If y'all like this haircut and like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. I said that weird. Please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe one time for your boy. And we're gonna keep grinding, man. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, YouTube, let's go.
Damn it, Tito. Another one?